A breathless saxophone exhales in slow phrases. Warm peanut beneath it glows like dim afternoon light. Everything suspended, unspoken.
In a corner where the hours loosened form, amber light settles tender and warm. Dust motes drift without intent, like softened echoes of time well spent. A roasted bloom rises textured and deep, bittersweet layers the silence can keep. She moves in patterns the world forgot, a quiet devotion in every drop. Her cocoa dress holds the hush in place, gentle folds in a slower grace. Each measured pour, each steady hand writes something the heart can understand. In this coarse calm, softly spun, we come undone, then gently won, where rough edges fade in the velvet air, and nothing heavy can follow there. Slow is the way her small hands move, tracing a tender, imperfect groove in the ritual quiet, worn yet warm. We find a peace in an unpolished form, a Persian cat in a cloud-like rest, curled in the hush of her quiet nest. Its breathing falls with the piano's tone, like a second heart that's not alone. The walls were green in a weathered skin, holding the years that have settled in. A copper machine hums low and wide, like something patient that won't divide. No sudden noise, no fractured seam, just an unfolding like a dream. She lifts the cup to a softened space, and time grows distant without a trace. In this coarse calm, softly spun, we come undone, then gently won, where rough edges fade in the velvet air, and nothing heavy can follow there. Faint little echoes begin to align in the grain of the sound, in the slip of time, in the ritual quiet, worn yet warm. We find a peace in an unpolished form. Stay in the grain where soft meets plain. No need to smooth, no need to prove a fragile peace. In slow release, we are the space between each trace. Low and slow, let it go. A fragile peace in slow release. We are the space between each trace. Low and slow, image of glass. Dust motes drift as minutes pass. A roasted bloom in rising air unfolds a warmth already there. Porcelain hums beneath my skin. A quiet world is settling in. Each gentle stir, each careful pour feels like something lived before. The light leans softly on the wall. No need to name it at all. Just simple tones and shadows drawn like night arriving before it's gone. A bright bass in rounded grace. Brush drums trace a slower pace. Simple goodness softly stays in borrowed light and woven haze. A quiet truth, no need to prove. Just tender hearts and subtle grooves. In every breath a softer view of something small yet deeply true, where nothing grand is held within, just quiet joy beneath the skin. A Persian cat in feathered white, curled inside the amber light. It's breathing slow, a steady thread through every word that's left unsaid. The room remembers older days in softened lines and muted grace. Machines that whisper low and kind, holding time we left behind. The saxophone bends thin and far like distant echoes where you are. Not calling loud, not pulling near, just gently saying, rest is here. A lifted cup, the scent draws close. A fleeting warmth the moment knows. No rising noise, no hurried air, just simple things with quiet care. Nylon guitar in soft reply. Saxophone breathes a quiet sigh. Notes dissolve then drift anew. Simple goodness, hold me still. In every pause, in every will. A drifting calm, a quiet stream where waking life feels like a dream. No need for more, no need to chase, just time unfolding in this space. In this hush so warm, so thin, I find the peace I'm resting in. Stay, nothing needs to change. Not every silence feels so strange. There's something kind in letting be, a softer way to simply see. Every breath a fragile glow, moving where the slow winds go. And in this pause, so small, so clear, I feel the moment settling here. Stay. moves on a silver edge. Dust motes drift without a pledge. A roasted bloom in softened air unfolds a warmth already there. She moves as if the world stood still. Each careful pour a quiet will. No wasted breath, no hurried grace. Just time unfolding in its place. Light leans gently through the room, touching corners dressed in gloom, where silence hums both thin and wide, like something watching from inside. Upright bass in steady flow, brush drums whisper far below. Quiet watch, nothing speaks, stillness settles in the weeks. A softened world, a slower art, held together part by part. In this hush so finely spun, there's no need to become someone, just drifting close. No need to touch where silence somehow says so much. A Persian cat enfolded white, a rest beneath the amber light. It's breathing like a distant tide, pulling every thought aside. Eyes half open, calm and deep, guarding secrets meant to keep. A quiet bond without a sound, where peace and presence both are found. The walls recall a softer age and muted tones, a patient stage. Old machines with worn out seams, holding echoes, holding dreams. The saxophone bends low and far, like a dim and distant star. Not calling out, not drawing near, just lingering, almost here. A lifted cup, the scent remains, a fragile warmth through quiet veins. No sudden stir, no scattered air, just something still and always there. Sax replies in soft confines. Each note fades then reappears. Quiet watch, hold me here, where fading edges disappear. A drifting calm, a fragile space, where time forgets its restless pace. No need for words, no need to prove, just gentle hearts in subtle grooves. In this hush, so vast, so light, I lose myself in quiet sight. Stay, don't break the air, there's something sacred resting there. No distant sound, no restless end, just quiet truths that slowly mend. Every breath a thread so fine, woven through this pause in time. And in this stillness, soft and slow, I watch the world and let it go. settles there. Porcelain held with mindful grace, each movement finds its rightful place. A simple act, yet something more, like stillness knocking at the door. No hurried steps, no restless sound, just fragile calm the walls have found, where faded tones and shadows thin begin to draw the silence in. Upright bass walks slow and slow, brush drums barely ebb and flow. Peace within softly grows, in every breath a quiet knows, a tender space, a sacred art unfolding somewhere in the heart. This gentle ritual, slow and true, a world reshaped in shades of blue, where time dissolves and light is thin, and all that's left is peace within. A Persian cat in cotton white rests inside the amber light. It's breathing like a hidden stream, pulling thought into a dream. The studio hums in muted gold, with echoes of the days it's held. Old machines and weathered lines, aging softly into time. The saxophone bends far away, like distant skies at close of day. A quiet gaze, a softened view of something vast yet deeply true. A lifted cup, the aroma stays suspended in a silver haze. No rising noise, no fractured air, just calm arranged with patient care. Guitar in velvet tone, sax replies a breath alone. Each phrase dissolves, then reappears. Peace within, hold me near, where edges fade and thoughts grow clear. A drifting calm, a quiet tide, where softer versions of me reside. No need to reach, no need to prove, just subtle hearts and gentle grooves. In this hush so warm, so thin, I finally rest in peace within. Stay, let the moment be, nothing more is asked of me. No distant noise, no scattered mind, just quiet truths I almost find. Every breath a fragile thread, weaving through the words unsaid. And in this pause, so deeply spun, I feel as though I've just begun. Amber settles on a quiet frame, dust motes dancing without a name. A roasted bloom in the evening air unfolds its warmth with gentle care. Porcelain hums beneath my hand, time loosens what it once had planned. Every motion slow and true, like silence learning something new. Upright bass walks slow and deep, brush brush drums cradle a drifting sleep. Cat comfort, soft and near, a quiet presence always here. In every breath, in every pause, a tender stillness without a cause. This ritual of gentle grace, a slower world, a softer place where sound and scent and touch align, and everything feels half divine. A Persian cat in cotton white, curled like a cloud in amber light. It's steady breathing, calm and slow, a rhythm only stillness knows. Eyes half closed in velvet peace, as if the world has found release. It's quiet trust, a fragile art, resting softly near my heart. The walls remain in muted tone, holding echoes time has known. The saxophone bends low and far, like drifting thoughts beneath the star. A cup is raised, the aroma stays, a fleeting warmth in silver haze. No sudden noise, no hurried sound, just gentle life in calm unbound. Nylon guitar whispers soft reply, saxophone answers breath and sigh. Each phrase dissolves like fading light. Cat comfort, hold me still in every note, in every will, a drifting calm, a tender space where time moves at a softer pace. No need for words, no need to prove, just quiet hearts and subtle grooves. In this hush so warm, so true, I find a kind of peace in you. Stay close, don't move too far, you're softer than the night we are. A fragile calm, a living sigh, a quiet truth that won't deny. Each breath you take I follow through, a slower rhythm, deep and blue. In your stillness I become a quieter version of what I was from. Stay close, don't move too far, you're softer than the night we are. A final sax note, long dissolving into silence. Amber settles on the countertop, dust motes drift and slowly drop. A roasted bloom in velvet air unfolds its warmth without a care. Fingers trace a careful line, measured pores in borrowed time. Every motion, soft and small, feels like it was meant to fall. The room leans in a quiet frame, nothing here demands a name, just gentle light and shadows blend, where silence finds a place to mend. Upright bass in low embrace, brush drums barely mark the space. Fluffy friends, stay close, stay near. In hush, you're always here. A quiet warmth, a breathing grace, softly filling empty space. No loud words, no need to prove, just tender hearts in subtle grooves. In every pause, in every bend, I find my calm and fluffy friend. A Persian cat in clouded white, curled beneath the amber light. Its steady breath, a gentle guide, pulling restless thoughts aside. Eyes half lost in softened dreams, floating through the in-betweens. A silent bond so finely spun, where two slow rhythms become one. The cafe hums in muted gold, with quiet stories left untold. Age machines and worn out lines, holding traces of old times. The saxophone drifts thin and far, like a fading evening star. Not calling out, not pulling tight, just resting softly in the night. A lifted cup, the scent draws near, a fleeting calm I almost hear. No sudden noise, no fractured air, just peace arranged with tender care. Nylon guitar in soft reply, saxophone breathes a lullaby. Notes dissolve, then gently stay. Fluffy friends hold me still, in every pause, in every will. A drifting calm, a quiet sea, where softer versions of me can be. No need for more, no need to chase, just quiet time and gentle space. In this hush where days suspend, I lose the weight in fluffy friends. Stay, don't let it fade. This fragile calm we've gently made. No distant world, no racing mind, just something soft we've come to find. Every breath a thread so light, weaving through the fading light. And in this stillness, slow and true, I feel the world grow kind with you. Along the window line, dust motes turn in slow design. A roasted bloom in the quiet air unfolds its warmth, unhurried, rare. Porcelain warmth against my palms, time dissolves into gentle calms. Soft and deep, like something learning how to sleep. A bright bass moves low and round, brush drums barely make a sound. Catnap drifting slow, where quiet things begin to where the moments lie. A Persian cat in folded white, curled inside the fading light. It's breathing soft, a steady sway, guiding all the noise away. Eyes half closed in velvet dreams, caught between the in-betweens. A fragile world so calm, so small, where nothing needs to move at all. The walls exhale a muted tone, old café whispers gently sown. The saxophone bends low and thin, like distant thoughts that drift within a lifted cup. The scent draws near, a quiet warmth I almost hear. No rush to break, no need to speak, just silence settling, soft and meek. Nylon guitar hums in drowsy lines, saxophone answers slow entwined, each phrase melt to quiet air. Catnap, hold me here, where every edge can disappear. A drifting calm, a gentle flow, where only softened rhythms go. No sharp thoughts, no heavy sound, just floating weightless, unbound. In this hush so warm, so true, I fall asleep somewhere in you. Stay, don't wake the air, there's something fragile resting there. A quiet dream we almost keep, balanced on the edge of sleep. Every breath becomes so light, fading slowly into night. And in this calm I finally know how soft a moment's meant to go. Stay, don't wake the air, there's something fragile resting there. A quiet dream we almost keep, balanced on the edge of sleep. Every breath becomes so light, fading slowly into night. And in this calm I finally know how soft a moment's meant to go. quiet surfaces. Dust motes drifting without direction, like thoughts that chose not to hurry. A roasted bloom begins to open, slowly in the language of warmth. She stands within that gentle moment, hands steady, unafraid of silence. Porcelain waits beneath her touch, steam not yet but almost there. Every movement finely measured, as if time could feel her breathing. No sharp edges in this small room, only softened echoes of being. A ritual formed without a name, but known by the heart as peace. Upright bass pulses low and round, brush drums trace a hush in motion. We are brewing peace in quiet tones, in the space where nothing is on, just the warmth between the lines, where the restless heart unwinds. No need to speak, no need to prove. We dissolve into the groove, in the stillness we release. Slowly, softly, brewing peace. A white Persian sleeps like morning fog, folded near her drifting feet, breathing in the softened rhythm of piano and distant brass. The machine hums with aged grace, its metal worn but deeply kind, holding stories in its silence. Older than the passing hours, she lifts the cup toward her face, lets the rising warmth arrive, and in that breath so pure, so light, the world forgets its weight. No outside noise can enter here, no hurried step can cross the air, only flavor, tone, and time, woven into quiet harmony. Nylon guitar answers in soft phrases, saxophone sighs back in tender echoes. We are brewing peace in quiet tones, where the fragile calm has grown. Every note a place to rest, every breath a gentle yes. Stay a while, let nothing move, feel the hush become the truth. In this moment we are free, held inside this brewing peace. Don't wake the world outside the door, we don't belong to noise anymore. A fragile calm within the chest, like unfinished dreams at rest. If this fades, don't let it break, let it linger softly, wake. In the quiet we release every sorrow into peace. Along Patina Walls, where the hours blur to gold, amber hush settles in the quiet seams. Dust motes drift through a tilted beam, like forgotten letters no one needs to read. A roasted bloom since its color here lets the silence fall into place. Every second soft and warm like edges smoothed by memory. A bright bass hum, slow and steady. Brush drums whisper across the room. In these patina walls we disappear, where the air turns soft and near. Every breath a quiet release, a slow ritual of peace. No sharp lines, no hurried calls, just the echo in these walls, where a fragile moment falls into something we can keep. A white Persian rests like folded light, curled in the hush beside her feet. Eyes half lidded, drifting somewhere between the notes and the warmth. The old machine hums under breath, a quiet relic worn but true. Its metal holds a deeper tone, the kind that lingers after sound. She lifts the cup toward her face, lets the scent dissolve her thoughts, and in that pause suspended thin, the world forgets to move at all. No clatter breaks the woven calm, no voices press against the air, just tone and texture intertwined, a balance no one needs to name. Nylon guitar glides in soft reply, saxophone answers, breath brushing tone. In these patina walls we disappear, held inside a softened sphere, where the silence draws us close to something we almost know. Let it stay, don't let it fall, this fragile hush, this quiet call. In the stillness of it all, we are more than what we show. Stay just a little longer here, where nothing rushes, nothing clears. A gentle weight inside the chest, like unfinished thoughts at rest. If the outside pulls away, leave a trace in shades of gray. On these walls worn thin and wise, a place where quiet never dies. Terracotta resting in the light, amber edges soft and slight, dust motes a wander slow and free through a paused infinity. A roasted bloom begins to rise, threading through the quiet skies, curling warm in fragile streams like distant half-remembered dreams. Her hands move low, deliberate, each small gesture intimate, not just a drink but something true, a ritual in earthy hue. Upright bass in rounded tone, brush drums barely brush the bone. Terracotta hue, soft and deep, where quiet colors learn to sleep. A grounded calm, a gentle view, the world made warm in shades of you. In every breath, in every spin, a subtle peace begins within. No sharp edges, nothing new, just soften light in terracotta hue. A Persian cat in muted white rests inside the fading light. It's breathing like a steady flame, unmoved by time, untouched by name. The walls wear tones of quiet age, a patient dust-lined open page. Old machines in silent grace, holding memory in their place. The saxophone bends far and low, like evening winds that barely show a distant gaze. A softened line where present folds into design. A lifted cup, the scent unfolds in layer warmth of browns and golds. No rising rush, no scattered view, just stillness brushed in earth and hue. Sax replies where notes have bled. Each phrase settles warm and wide. Terracotta hue, hold me near where quiet tones become so clear. A drifting calm, a steady flow where softer shades begin to glow. No need for more, no need to find, just gentle rhythms unconfined. In this hush where time feels true, I rest inside this earthen hue. Stay in this mellow light where day dissolves into the night. No distant pull, no restless view, just something warm and deeply true. Every breath a fading tone, grounded, quiet, all its own. And in this pause, so soft, so few, I feel the world return to you. The hours loosen their hands. Amber light rests on porcelain skin. Dust motes turn and slow as quiet thoughts through a window that forgets the street. A roasted bloom unfolds in the hush, copper steam rising in tender spirals. She moves like time has softened its edges, every gesture a careful kind of grace. No urgency clings to her fingertips, only the language of warmth and waiting. A cup becoming more than a vessel, a small glow in ritual of peace. Deep upright bass walks gently. Brush drums whisper like distant rain. In the hush of copper steam, I breathe you in. Slow as velvet evening settling on the rim. No words, just the quiet in between, where the world forgets what it has been. Hold me in this soft and scene, where nothing aches, nothing leans, just a fragile golden routine. Love dissolves in copper steam. A white Persian dream curls by her side, fur like folded clouds at rest, eyes half closed to the drifting sound of a saxophone tracing distant skies. The walls wear stories in muted tones. Age machines hum low like memory. Nothing polished, nothing loud, just the beauty of what remains. She lifts the cup to her quiet breath, lets the aroma settle in her chest. And in that pause, so slight, so full, the soul remembers how to be still. Sings in gentle replies, saxophone answers in breathless sighs. In the hush of copper steam, I breathe you in, like a secret pressed beneath the skin. No need to chase, no need to dream. Everything lives inside this scene. Stay with me where time grows thin, where silence feels like porcelain. In this quiet, tender sheen, we are held in copper steam. Don't let the outside find us here, where noise dissolves and disappears. A fragile world but tough a cup. We sip the calm, we don't rush up. If this moment fades away, let it linger in the clay of memory, warm and deep, a place the weary heart